beauties. Now today I will mostly be looking at how to mount your Makita battery charger on the wall, and it doesn't have any proper mounting holes in the back like the Milwaukee that you see next to it there. Now there are some holes available in the back which we can use to mount this, so if the rubber feet haven't already waved goodbye and left you, then remove those to expose the 4 holes. And next, grab yourself some brown 7mm wall plugs, which will be too long, so cut them roughly halfway down from whichever end you like, your choice. Now these might split once you've cut them and you end up with 2 segments. Put them together and check they fit into one of the charger's holes. These are a nice snug fit, so they shouldn't really fall out, but I am going to glue them in also with some super glue, just to make sure they don't turn when they're screwed into. But this will give you something for the screw to bite into when you screw them to the board. So carefully a bit of glue on each half and fit them all into the holes. With that done, you can grab yourself a piece of board. I'm just going to use a piece of scrap OSB just to try this out, and I'm happy with that. Next step, grab yourself a cup of tea, smash that back, and next we want to transfer these holes onto the board so we know exactly where to drill. So grab yourself a pen, some paint, whatever you've got, paint over the faces of the plugs, and then turn the charger over and lay it into position. Give it a firm press just to make sure whatever you've chosen to mark it with has left a witness mark on the board, and now you're ready for drilling. Just bear in mind the hole spacings differ, so the top 2 are farther apart from each other than the bottom 2. So make sure you countersink the correct side of the board, or they won't line up when you come to screw them in. Countersinking is necessary because the screws will be going from the back, and I will be mounting this against the wall, so they need to be flush with the surface or it will try and stand off. Next, I wound the screws through till they were just protruding through the surface, and this is going to give you just enough exposed screw to locate into the plugs, but not cause the charger to stand off the board by a country mile, which will stop it from pulling and twisting when you're doing the screws up. So all being well, when you drop the charger on, it should line up perfectly. That's good. And then grab yourself a drill and wind all the screws home carefully. Once I've done this, I'll just grab a screwdriver and check they are tight by hand. Obviously not too tight. Yarp, happy with that. Milwaukee next, and they have given you a dimension for the hole centers on the back already. And it might be handy to know, if you've not done this sort of thing before, that you don't have to hover the ruler over and try and guess where the hole centers are to try and get that measurement if you didn't have that already. So you can either hold the ruler all the way to the left and measure the left-hand side of both holes, or all the way over to the right. The measurement should be the same. That is providing both of the holes are identical in size and shape. This is something I do a lot in this kind of situation when doing DIY. So a couple of screws in the board next to the Makita, and I can mount the Milwaukee next to it. I'd also cut this piece of scrap board wide enough so some wood was protruding from around the sides of the charger so I can mount it to the wall as well. And there you have it. A couple of frequently used chargers no longer cluttering up your workbench. Thank you for watching.